A Cuppa Joe Nintendo is powered by the You, Me, and Capri Patreon. We want to say thank you to some people, starting with our Diamond Executive Producer, Slimer Snarf, our Platinum Producer, Robbie Bobby Miller, and then to our Gold level patrons like James Johnson, Ryan Turford, Egg Shen, Nasty Boots and Tammy, Joel Brooks, and Jonathan Brown. Thank you everyone for all of your support.
So Sean, yesterday, right, I'm sitting there and I decided I'm going to start terraforming in Animal Crossing. And,
okay.
And dude, it's like nothing I think I've ever seen before.
Yeah.
In terms of like, it's night and day, dude. It's crazy, balls to the wall. Like I've never.
Like, are you making mountains over there or what? Like, what do you mean by your terraforming?
Like, yeah. You're raising the ground. You're lowering the ground. You're adding water. You're adding waterfalls. All that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I decided myself, in my mind's eye, I kept working on this thing where I want to do, I wanted to build like this grand entrance for my museum. And I showed you a little bit ago before, I showed you what it looked like. But like, the thing is like, in my mind's eye, I know how it's playing out in my head, but to see it start to come together, is insanity, man. There is so much you can do with this, and it is such an amazing thing. Like I watched yesterday. I went to I think it was Game Explain showed someone that recreated the Link to the Past map.
Oh, of course, you have to.
And it's like, are you kidding me? Like, it's crazy to see that, like. And I knew, like, this is what I said. Like, I did a video.
It's funny it's big enough. Doesn't it seem like Animal Crossing wouldn't be big enough to do that?
It is. It was perfect. Perfect. And the crazy thing is, like I said before, like, as we were leading into the launch, on New Leaf, right, on the 3DS, there was a thing called the Dream Suite.
Yeah.
Which, well, what happened is, with the Dream Suite, I go talk to this woman gives me a code, I can launch that code out into the ether. Like, everybody could grab it, right? And then they could come to my town when I'm not there, any time of day, but they can't do anything. They could just basically look around.
Sure.
Now, there was some things where I could, like, put out presents for them that they could actually take, like maybe patterns or things like that. But, man, I kept saying, like, with this game, with the level of customization you're going to have in this game, that is the perfect thing to allow people to do. Like, for me to stream it, it's one thing, but for you to actually walk through and take it all in I feel totally different.
It's overwhelming, to be honest with you. I'm starting to see some people with their reports of Animal Crossing anxiety, Bobby, and I wanted to talk to you about this.
Go ahead.
Because, well, it's almost like this weird envy thing, right? You see some people, and you put all this work into your town, and you're thinking, like, this is amazing, it's perfect, it's like the best it could ever be, and then you go look at somebody else's town, like, oh, damn, theirs is real pretty, theirs is real nice.
I think what happens is, like, I'll give you an example, Joey Splatz. Joey Splatz, his town is like no other.
Yeah.
Like, it is decked to the nines.
Have you seen him lately, dude? Dude's dropping like a couple pounds a week, man.
Yeah.
I am so freaking impressed with Joey Splatz. He's an inspiration to me, man. He's getting me moving.
He's killing it.
But his town's good too, so he's losing weight and he's got a good town.
Or
island.
Here's the crazy thing with him. He like, I've watched him go into streams and like tell people like, hey man, can I just come in and buy that item if you're not gonna buy it? And like, where me, I'm just like, when it comes to me, it comes to me. But he's pressing. Like, he's after like, I want it. I'm going.
He's working,
and it's working. I mean, he's got a 5-star town already, and it's crazy. Like, you need a 3-star rating to get KK Slider to show up, which I did this week, and that unlocks the terraforming once that all happens, right? So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. But to answer your question, like, I've seen people that have these crazy things, right?
Yeah.
And most of them, not all, most of them are time travelers. And time traveling, here's an example. So I showed you my museum, right?
You would think that with all the things that Nintendo locked down to make sure that people played it in a certain way, you would think that they would just make that not possible.
No.
Is this not cheating?
No. It's, well, I view it as cheating.
Yeah.
But I don't, okay, let me back that up.
They should set a standard clock.
I don't view it as cheating. Let me take that back. I don't view it as cheating. You play the game how you want to play the game.
You cheat yourself.
You cheat yourself. That's what happens. Because you're rushing through and you're not truly experiencing the game as it is. Now, it is, in my opinion, just a little too slow. In terms of, like, here's an example. So I showed you my museum, right? And I told you, like, I'm going to build a ramp here and a ramp here, and, like, I got the bridge here. But it literally takes you, like, when you buy the ramp, you pay it off, you got to wait until the next day before the ramp appears.
That's no good. And
before I can buy another. So I don't care if I have to wait a day for that ramp to appear. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
Because you got to think in, like, in terms of, like, they got to build it, they got to construct it. Like, okay, fine, that's no problem. But what I would like to see is if I pay for that construction, the minute that construction gets paid off, because what it is you go and you place it, and then you have, like, it's almost like
it puts up, like, the ropes.
Yeah, it's got the ropes there, and until you pay it off, it doesn't show up.
Yeah.
So, and then it shows up the next day after you pay it off. So I would like it to be like, hey, you had this, you wanted this bridge built, you paid it off. Okay, no problem. Guess what? Now you can do one more thing, and then once you pay that off, because then it's still locked behind bells where you have to earn, and you're not gonna be able, you don't have, nobody has infinite bells. So, but with time traveling, what they're doing is they're basically doing that, and then they're skipping forward a day, and that's where I feel like you only cheat yourself because you're rushing through the game.
And you're missing all the life lessons, man, that this game is teaching you. For Lincoln as well, like you can only have one coffee a day. He's still playing New Leaf a lot. You can only so teaching him rules around some of this stuff. Like you can't just go on the boat back and forth. You're gonna run out of money. It's hilarious, man.
It's so it is. It it's not even that. It's just I think you take away your enjoyment of it. Like I talk about, like for this game, I told people in the very beginning, like, you need to treat this like Breath of the Wild. Meaning, you get one shot for that first impression of this game. You get that one time to experience this story and the unfolding of it all and everything one time. That's it.
Is there a story?
Kind of. Little bit. Like
you kind of have to make it yourself a little bit?
Well, no, it's kind of like there's a... you're helping Tom Nook, and he has these dreams and aspirations for this island, and you're trying to help him culminate it with I'm trying not to be too spoilerly, but he's trying to culminate it with a moment, and once you accomplish that moment, he comes over and he's all jubilant and he's like appreciative of you, and he's explaining to you what it means to have this happen. And so for that aspect, it's like, yeah, you're experiencing that all for the first time. Because, like, here's the thing. You start off, there's nothing there. Then you go and you unlock the museum. Then you unlock Nook's Cranny. Then you unlock the Able Sisters. It's like, all these moments, I feel, are moments that, like, you can never get back. You do it one time, and it's like, you'll remember that for a very long time. It's, and it's the Breath of the Wild thing. Like, you only experience that coming out of the cave and running to the end of the cliff once.
Yeah.
And, like, that happens.
Good thing they spoiled it on the trailer.
Well, yeah, but like, that happens. Well, I don't feel they spoiled it in the trailer, because, like, when you get up there, you pan around, like, and you get to move the camera. Like, that moment, you take that in, and it's like, you get that once, and that's...
I would say that even, like, that one moment changed Zelda forever.
Oh,
like, that one moment's just like, and now I've completely forgotten all the other 3D Zeldas before.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to play like that anymore. I want this style. Everything about this I want, man.
I agree. So for me, it's like, I was telling people prior, like, take your time with this game.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. So that's where I feel like time travel.
That's a tough one.
Cheat themselves.
Well, then maybe they're playing the wrong game, man. Maybe that's part of it, or maybe they just don't like certain elements. I was watching you play. I mean, I go onto Twitch.tv and everybody's playing this game. There's no escaping it. So crazy. I'm jumping in and I'm watching people do these things, and it just seems like it takes so long. Everything takes so long, Bobby, and I'm so impatient. And I'm playing a game where I'm a cutesy little character on an island, and I'm crafting things,
it's not even close to the level of amazing this is.
There's cloud saves, Bobby.
It's fast. That don't mean anything.
Okay, so Dragon Quest Builders 2, I don't know why I haven't bought this game up until now, Bobby. I've been like waiting. Actually, I do know why, because I've been waiting for it to go on sale, and it's just not happening.
Yeah.
Still $79.99. I had 2 vouchers still remaining. I used up one of those vouchers, Bobby. And I'm in love, man. This game is everything that I wanted it to be, and I know that like the whole, and it comes into something I want to talk to you about a little bit later about being crusty and whatnot. But dude, like it's honestly, we get up really early to come together on Sunday mornings and chat like this. But I'm like, I need to try and figure out how to get up earlier to play this game, and it's just a little bit. Compared to Animal Crossing, it's just a little bit more structured. And so this shouldn't really surprise you that this is the game that really like clicks for me, because it's like it's mission based. It's RPG. It's the RPG elements.
But
it's very much the same thing.
In terms of like you have to wait to build things. Like you don't have to wait a day. That's different. But their clock is totally different. Their clock isn't real time. Their clock is more, 30 minutes. Like that gets through a cycle of a day. So it's a little bit different in that scale, but it's the same premise. It's very close to the same premise where in that game you're a builder and you earn experience based on your building, not your battles. And it's very different.
Yeah, and you earn experience on battles as well.
Well, but it's
and
a
that's
different
I
type
think
of
that's
experience.
The thing.
It's a different
sure.
Yeah,
like you have like your base level and everybody's coming to help out, and I love that side of things where it's like I ring this bell and everybody's like, and now I want to help. Yeah. And it attracts more people to it. It's got some weird, strange story to it where like there's some strange religion that we're like in an instant convincing them that they're all wrong and they should think about things another way.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that I love doing these days is especially when I play a game like this where there's this cutesy little character and you can play male or female. I chose a little girl with the cutesy little pigtails and I call her Ellie. And Ellie's going on this like amazing journey, and she's building things, and I'm so proud of her. And she's just like leading the town, and I love it, man. I just but the thing is, like, I love being able to like I'm building rooms, but it's simple, right? Like I haven't gotten to the point, at least in the game, where like anything is very grandiose. I'm building tiny little rooms, and people want to like go sleep over here, sleep over there, and I make this. If I have these elements in a room, then it makes like a farm or a barn or something like that. And I love that checkbox part of it. Like that's my brain. I'm like, if I do this, this, and this, it creates a thing. And that's everywhere. It's in the crafting, it's in everything. And then I've got my little guy. He looks like Raditz from Dragon Ball Z. And he just wants to he wants to be a builder, but he's a fighter. So I keep giving him these new weapons. And it's just it's what I needed right now, because I've wanted to have what everybody else has with Animal Crossing, which is like this, just turn your brain off for a couple hours, go escape to an island somewhere, and like clean up. Like it's so satisfying just to clear out. I was watching you do some terraforming yesterday, and I'm like, oh, that's so satisfying just to be able to create your paths and to create symmetry and everything. And I have that now with Dragon Quest builders, because it's very block based.
Yeah.
Right. So it's very easy to do that. Animal Crossing is a little bit more like natural. So dude, I've got a game that I can like sink my teeth into, and there's nothing. I don't think that there's anything coming out in a while, man. So this is kind of it. I've got Astral Chain kind of on the background, and I tried to get into Marvel Ultimate Alliance again, but I need people for that. I don't think I can play that game by myself.
And it's weird because that game never picked up steam. Like it never.
Well, they just got that DLC.
It never picked up the proper amount of steam of like people playing it and coming together with it.
I know, it's that Diablo-like game. Like we should be playing it together. Minecraft Dungeons, though, man.
Yeah, well, hopefully that comes out later this year, because right now I'm not looking.
May 29th. I think it's May 29th or something.
That's too soon for me.
You think so, dude? We're still gonna be in lockdown, man.
Oh, dude, it's not even that. It's. I have never played a game like Animal Crossing in terms of like just lose your time.
Yeah.
And that's what it's doing. Like I told you, like I terraformed yesterday, 4 hours went by, and I was like, this is crazy.
Do you feel like you got enough done in that 4 hours though? Like that's the thing I just can't click with.
I don't think I did, because what you're doing is you're starting to build, and then you're running over and you go, oh, I gotta go do this real quick, and you run over and go grab something. You're like, oh, this would look cool here, so I'm gonna go get that, and then you run over, you go craft it. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I can make it more concise. I can put my crafting table right next to where I'm working. That would be the smart play. But like I'm an idiot and I keep it in one location. I have to run halfway across the map. Do you have like a
notepad or anything? Like I can imagine you just like all the things that you want to be able to, get to.
No, I'm just kind of like I'm just kind of doing it as it comes to me. Like in my mind, like so as I have an original idea in my head of what I wanted from the layout of the land.
Yeah.
And last night was the first piece. right? So once I accomplished that, I was like, okay, now I know where my second piece goes, and now I have to work on that. And it's a little bit, it's. I didn't pre-think before I started putting stuff where it goes or where I put it.
Yeah.
Because now I'm like, oh, now I got to move that, and then I got to move that over there, and then I move that over there, and it's like, oh. So it's like I wish I would have thought that stuff through a little better. But it also, to my defense, the game does lock you a little bit behind. So I was putting stuff just where I could put stuff where I could get to.
Right.
Because originally you're locked in 1/3 of the map, and then it opens up to 2/3 of the map. Then it opens up to 3/3 of the map, and now I'm almost to the point where it's like I basically have full carte blanche to go where I want and do what I want and all that stuff. So
what's like your routine? Like, do you get up in the morning because you used to have that thing, right? With New Leaf, you get up at 5 o'clock in the morning for a reason.
5 o'clock. See, in New Leaf, I thought it reset at 8 o'clock in the morning. This one resets at 5 in the morning. So I get up at 5 or whatever. Like today I actually woke up at like 5:30.
Oh, you slept in. Okay.
I didn't, because I was just like I was planning to get up at like 6 or whatever.
I'm kidding.
So I get up at 5:30. I'm like, wow, I got time. I'm gonna go play Animal Crossing. So I jump in, and then so I fire up, and then the first thing I do is I come out, I check my mail because I normally have some type of mail. Go through, see what's in there. Then I just go, okay, let me go fossil hunt, and I run around and try to dig up all the fossils, and it's really, dude, they are. I feel like this is gonna happen. This game is gonna become Splatoon 2, in terms of like they are gonna slow roll everything out, and like hit us with updates constantly, and like every time they give us an update, because dude, this Bunny Day update they gave us, people are frustrated because there's eggs all over the place, but if they could fix that, like that progression of it, it would be a little bit better. But man, it's just like, dude, if they do stuff like this every month, where they give you something to do, some type of event, because it changes it. It becomes, okay, I have to do my daily tasks, fishing, bug hunting, looking for fossils, trying to fill the museum, do all that stuff. Oh, but I also have to do this, because I have 2 weeks to complete this to get all the pieces to it. So it's
like the most stressful, relaxing game I've ever heard.
It's not stressful at all. It's just very chill, man. It's very
chill. As long as you got like 8 hours a day to
what else
dump
has anybody
into it.
Got right now? That's all you got right now. It's a perfect story.
Some of us have kids to make sure to stay alive as well, man.
You know what? You're locked in the house. You're fine. You just
you
just tell Link to play. Here's the thing, dude. So, what do you think about this Mario stuff that's going on?
Oh my god, man! I can't get too excited about. I think I was tweeting about it like as soon as somebody said, "Oh, and also on top of Super Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy all getting remastered and everything, you're gonna get the Paper Mario that you've always wanted." I'm like, okay, too far. Yeah. You pushed it too far. Everything's wrong. It's not true. There's no way. But I couldn't help but think of you immediately because years ago you pitched this idea of like Super Mario All-Stars 2 or Super Mario All-Stars 3D or whatever. Yeah. I immediately thought of you. I was like, dude, this is what Bobby's been calling for years, and probably even years before you told me.
Yeah. What just the thing? I'll refresh your memory. So what I was looking to do was Super Mario All-Stars 2.
Yeah.
And that was Mario, because at the time we didn't have a 3D World, right?
Yeah. So that's right.
So at the time it was, or 3D World had just come out and whatever. So at the time it was Super Mario 64, Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, and Super Mario Sunshine. All remastered, all redone. Basically one of those, it's out now type deals. Because that's almost what All-Star 1 felt like. It was almost like, hey, we've been working on this little project for a while, and here it is. Boom. You know? And I would lose my mind if they did this. And then it seemed, but this seems a little different. This seems like we're just going to throw everything out there. They're probably going to charge us $60 a pop for everything.
Like for each one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm curious how it all works out.
Can I tell you something? Like, this is how my take on it. If, like, let's say E3 was happening this year, and IGN actually has a thing coming up. They're basically going to do it, which is amazing. If Nintendo's like E3 was the Super Mario kind of like collection, I wouldn't blame them, and I think that they would destroy. This is the way that they could destroy and derail a launch lineup from Xbox and from PlayStation.
No,
just do all Mario. They don't need a new Pokemon. They don't need a new Splatoon. They don't need a new Mario Kart. Anything. You do this, and it's at the year that they're having right now with Animal Crossing, where Switch Lite sales are through the roof, and there's actually shortages again, like the heyday of the Wii. I think that they could just do a Super Mario year. And that's it. They don't need anything new.
So could you imagine, right, if they turn around and they go, the 35th anniversary of Mario is this particular day. And we are going to do a year of Mario from that point.
Dude.
And every month for the next year, we are going to drop a brand new, remastered, whatever Mario game. Could you imagine? Let's just play a little fun. Let's just act like if we ran Nintendo. Sure.
If we ran Nintendo,
if we ran Nintendo, let's just have a little fun with it. Right? So let's just imagine. Let's just do the numbers. Mario 64. Mario Sunshine.
Yeah.
Mario Galaxy 1.
Yeah.
Mario Galaxy 2.
That's 4.
Super Mario 3D World. Right. Then you go DLC expansion pack for Mario Kart. Don't put out a new Mario Kart. Just do a DLC expansion pack for Mario Kart. Right?
So then we'll never get 9.
Well, that's fine. I could care less at that point.
Yeah.
Mario Golf. Right?
My God.
Paper Mario.
Yeah.
A brand new Mario game that we don't even see coming. Right? Maybe, and what I mean by brand new, a 2D Mario, brand new.
Oh, okay.
Odyssey DLC. Or Odyssey 2.
2, yeah.
Right? And then that gives you 2 more months. And then I would say Mario Strikers. Like a sequel to Mario Strikers.
Yeah.
And you have 1 more month of like whatever. And like, do you turn around and go Super Mario All-Stars 2? And like, in terms of like, or 2.0 or Super Mario All-Stars Remaster, where you take all the original games and remaster them?
My God, that would be gorgeous.
Dude, that's literally...
When you didn't have, did you have 3D World in there as well?
Yeah, I did. 3D World was the 5th one I did.
That is the one that I feel like, or even like, what do you do with 3D Land? Like that's the way to do 3D World, is bundle it with the game that was for 3DS, because I think that game was phenomenal as well.
Amazing. Like that's just 12 games, and I'm sure there's people going like, well, what about this game? What about this game? Dude,
sure.
Dude, that would be lights out for both Xbox and PlayStation.
I think it would.
Because here's the thing. They are going to have a crazy hard time getting consoles out into the wild. You don't have retail, right? You don't have stores operating right now. You don't have manufacturing facilities operating right now.
Dude, even Postal Service is like it's down to
hit or miss, and they're also picking and choosing what they're giving. So like,
that's what I mean.
Like Amazon isn't shipping, like I literally pre-ordered the Animal Crossing strategy guide. They've pushed it back twice on me already.
Yeah.
And like now it's like May, and it's like,
yeah,
dude, I need the thing now, not
but
May,
you know what though, but with this Mario thing, you're gonna want physical. You're gonna want, because there's gonna be collector's editions every single time, right? Like that's gonna be the thing that we won't be buying. If this is a real thing, we're getting physical for sure.
Oh, and without a doubt.
I mean, even just for the sharing element, like for us to like share the games, but also like, yeah, man, like that's something. Like I still have like the Wii. The 25th anniversary, oddly enough.
Yeah, I do too.
I didn't like the 25th anniversary Super Mario Brothers was Mario All Stars on the Wii. Yeah. Holy crap, dude!
Yeah,
it's like right here.
Could you imagine? And I could totally see them doing a special edition Switch, like an all red Switch, like the whole thing, the dock and everything, all red.
Does 35 seem weird though? Like 35 isn't like it's 25 and 50 are kind of like the big deals. Like does this seem over the top for a weird?
No, because of the climate we're in. They have crazy competition on the horizon. And how do you take a baseball bat to their kneecaps? Like how do you put Phil Spencer and Sony out of commission for a while? And that's you hit people with what they, because let's be honest, like they're not going to have anything at launch. Like they literally just suspended Last of Us 2 indefinitely. They didn't even come back. They didn't even come back with a release date and go like, "Hey man, we're gonna push it to 2021." They were just like, "We don't know when." Like that's bananas to me to think that like, dude, how are you gonna launch?
I was about to say it's upsetting, but it's not. Like, you can't be upsetting because it's.
I'm not upset at any. I'm actually happy it's pushing deeper into the
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but like, how do you expect to launch a console when you don't even have certainty on your games?
Yeah.
And like, if Nintendo's like, hey, we're good with the console, like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, we can't produce as many as we want, but dude, there's 50 million in the world as it is.
Mm-hmm.
You turn around and then you go like, hey, we're gonna knock these guys out. This is our knockout blow with, you know, with this Mario series that is gonna basically take the eyes, because dude, that's the other thing. If they do this every month, like I said, right? They do this once a month, then guess what happens? Every single month you're pulling the eyes off of them guys.
Well, that's what I was wondering. I was going to ask you about. Like, is that something that can like lose steam after a while, or is it like, do you do this in like a holiday kind of pack punch kind of thing?
No way.
Or does it? I mean, the thing now, like I know I'm not sure you think that these two things are linked, but I felt like Nintendo was going to have a presence at the Olympics. And the Olympics being in Japan, and like the Olympics being this year being the 35th anniversary, I felt like that was going to be a moment. Mm-hmm. And imagine if they were able to like even launch that, like if they had the plans to launch this year of Mario during the Olympics, would have been huge.
It would have been, and I like I said, that got pushed. Now maybe that's the end of the year. You know what I mean?
Right.
Maybe they go like, we're going to do this a year, and then it's going to culminate at the Olympics. Like, and then they put on this big celebration for Mario at the end of the Olympics. Like, dude, it can happen.
But do you buy it? Like, this is a rumor. This is almost too good to be true. That nothing is confirmed. Like, are you?
I buy it. I buy it because so many reputable sources are coming out saying it.
Yeah.
It'd be different. Like when we get the usual suspects coming out with stuff, you're very leery. But none of those guys are even in on this, and that's what makes me think this is a little bit bigger than what it is.
Yeah, Eurogamer was on this.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, and it makes me just think there's got to be more to this big picture than we're seeing.
So of Mario 64, Sunshine, 3D World, and Galaxy, which is the one that excites you the most if we were to get like a true remaster of it?
If we were to get a true remaster of it, Sunshine excites me the most. And
really?
And this is why. It's the one game that I never beat.
Yep.
It's the one game that was broken.
Mm-hmm.
Completely broken. And I would think, knowing Nintendo, if they're going to remaster this, they're saying, let's give them the game that we wanted to give them, but we couldn't give them.
Right.
They rushed that game because they didn't have a Mario game at launch of GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
And they put Luigi's Mansion, that was the launch game. Luigi's Mansion was the launch
game.
And people were just like, Where's
Mario?
Where's Mario? And then this went on for like a year, and Nintendo literally put out an unfinished game. The game is broken. So, man, if you could basically fix it and go, like, and I'll be honest with you too, like 64, the older games are what excite me more. Galaxy's a phenomenal game. Galaxy 1, Galaxy 2, impeccable
super playable
games.
Still.
Yes. That camera is garbage on 64.
On 64, yes.
So if you're able to fix the camera on that, if you're able to fix the glitches and the broken parts of Sunshine, those two games alone, they're lights out for me.
Yeah,
like,
man.
I feel like those two games are the pinnacle of it all.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because I think when we had a different time, a different show, we talked about, like, Miyamoto said, like, he doesn't want to remaster Mario games. Yeah. He doesn't believe in remastering games. And it's funny because they do Zelda all the time, but he's not involved in that. You know what I mean? Like, it's his baby, he created it, but he's not involved in the day-to-day like Aonuma is. But Mario, still, they go to Miyamoto for everything. And I think because it makes sense, because it's a massive celebration, and because I think they have some new stuff as well they're going to put out during all this, I think that changes his perspective of it. And I think he goes, you know what, maybe you're right. Maybe we do this.
I can't even decide. Like, I'm amazed that you're able to, like, even just pick one of them, because as soon as I pick one, I'm like, yeah, but what if I want this one from here? Like, even just the difference between the standard definition of the Wii and the Galaxy games to what we're seeing now with Odyssey is like, I want that for Galaxy, because I love those games, and it's so, man, like that. When I think of the theme song from Galaxy, like, my heart swells. I just absolutely adore that game.
Wait, could you imagine if this culminates with Galaxy 3?
Yeah. Ooh. I mean, I love the Galaxy series, man. I think that was the, like, when people talk about, like, our next 64, like that was the next evolution to me. It was like that made sense to me.
Yeah.
And then what do you go from there? Like it was funny to go from 64 to kind of like eventually we got to Galaxy, and now we're at Odyssey. Odyssey is kind of like, I mean, it's just not another. No, you're not exploring another part of the universe, I guess. Like, where do you go from Galaxy?
I mean, some people consider it 11 out of 10 but whatever.
I know.
They're not very reputable people.
The reports are like super specific though about 3D World, specifically having like it'll be a deluxe edition with new levels.
Yeah.
And even the Paper Mario game that's gonna be like going back to its roots. Like this all just it makes too much sense, but that makes me kind of doubt as well. But I said the same thing about the NX when we're very early in the days when it was like their next system's gonna be a hybrid system. Like no, like that's what we want. So. That can't be true.
I think some of the stuff you're hearing now is going to be people taking it and rolling it, and this is what happens because Nintendo is being quiet because obviously someone's leaked their stuff. It's going to turn into this gigantic thing that Nintendo can never accomplish, and then people are going to be like, "Oh, look, they're garbage. They're holding stuff back. They're not doing this. They're not doing that." And it's like, man, I don't care what you give me.
Yeah,
like that's my message right now. I don't care what it is. If you're gonna remaster, here's the thing: if you remaster 64, Sunshine, Galaxy 1 and 2, the rest is gravy.
Yeah.
I don't care what you do. You could literally just give me a copy of Super Mario All Stars again and put it on the Switch, and I will not complain, and I will be happy. Whatever you do after that is pie in the sky gravy. I don't care about the Super Mario, the Paper Marios. I don't care. Doesn't matter. Like I'll be excited for it, but like I don't have to have the cream of the crop to that stuff. You're giving me these 4 games that are top tier, top notch. I'm gonna knock it out the park with them. The rest is gravy.
It's almost too much. It's so funny because it seems like all we had ever been asking for every single time a new Paper Mario game came out. We're like, just what are you doing with this series? Just go back. Now they're like. Remasters, we're like, okay, go, just give me the remasters. I don't care about the Paper Mario stuff anymore. Like, don't screw it up. Like, don't bite off more than you can chew. Just make it work. Make me happy.
I don't know, but anyway, I gotta go, man. It's getting late.
You're always leaving me, man. I just want to sit and chat with you.
Somebody has to leave. I would rather be the one leaving than the one being left. So
you know what? You can't leave. I'm leaving. No, you can't fire me. I quit.
Too late, man. Too late.
All right,
man. I'll see you later.
Love you.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to A Cuppa Joe Nintendo, a production of the You, Me, and Capri Patreon. If you like the show, you can support them at patreon.com/YouMeCapri. A Cuppa Joe Nintendo is available on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and all of your other podcast services. Be sure to follow Bobby at Nintendo Gurus on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. For everything that Sean does on the internet, follow him on Twitter at Sean Capri. Sean like Connery, Capri like the pants. Also, twitch.tv Sean Capri. That is all. Peace out, Preston.